That first feeling in the morning. Before your mind is fully awake, your body sends the signal. It's that familiar sense of stiffness in your hands, your knees, or your back that makes getting out of bed feel like a negotiation. You might feel like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, needing a bit of oil just to get your joints moving. For so many of us, this rusty sensation has become a non-negotiable part of our daily routine, a hurdle to overcome before we can even think about starting our day. It's a frustrating reminder that our bodies don't move with the same freedom they once did. We often dismiss it, thinking it's just something we have to push through. But what if there's more to this story? What if this daily struggle isn't as inevitable as we've been led to believe, and the cause is hiding in plain sight, right in our morning habits? If you've ever thought to yourself, well, this is just part of getting older, you are certainly not alone. It's one of the most common beliefs I've encountered in my work focusing on healthy aging. The idea of wear and tear becomes a simple explanation for the aches and stiffness that greet us each day. We accept it as a natural consequence of a life well lived, a sign that our bodies have carried us through decades of experiences. But accepting this as your unchangeable reality can prevent you from seeing a crucial piece of the puzzle. While it's true that our bodies change as we age, attributing every bit of stiffness to the number on your birth certificate can be a mistake. It's a narrative that can make us feel powerless, when in fact, we often have more influence over how we feel each morning than we might imagine. It's not about a personal failing. It's about not having all the information. Over my years of observing how simple daily patterns impact long-term well-being, I've seen a surprising connection emerge time and time again. It involves something millions of Americans cherish as an essential, non-negotiable start to their day. I'm talking about that first aromatic cup of coffee. We rely on it for that jolt of energy, that comforting ritual that helps us face the world. But here's the question that I want you to consider, a question that might seem almost sacrilegious. What if that very cup of coffee, the one that's meant to wake you up and get you going, is secretly contributing to that very joint stiffness you're trying to escape? What if this beloved habit, which feels so right, is unintentionally making your body's tissues tighter and less flexible, right when they are at their most vulnerable? It's a startling thought, but one that holds a critical key to understanding your morning discomfort. Now, before you think I'm going to ask you to give up your favorite morning brew, let me put your mind at ease. This isn't about deprivation or eliminating the things you enjoy. The issue isn't the coffee itself, but something much more subtle. It's timing. There is an invisible mistake, a simple error in the sequence of your morning routine that can set off a chain reaction in your body, directly impacting the pliability of your connective tissues. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on this process. We will explore the simple biological mechanism that explains why your body is uniquely susceptible to stiffness in the morning, and how a diuretic beverage, introduced at the wrong moment, can amplify the problem. Understanding this one simple concept is the first step toward reclaiming a sense of fluidity and ease, not just in the morning, but throughout your entire day. Before we delve into the science behind why your joints feel this way, and more importantly, reveal the simple, practical adjustment you can make starting tomorrow morning, I invite you to become part of our community. If that feeling of being locked up when you wake up is something you're ready to change, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and click the little bell so you don't miss our future videos on aging with vitality. I would also love to hear from you directly. Please share in the comments below. What is the very first thing you drink when you wake up? Your story matters, and by sharing, we all learn together. Your journey toward more comfortable, fluid mornings is about to begin, and the explanation that follows may just be the aha moment you've been waiting for. Let's get started. To truly understand why that stiffness greets you in the morning, we need to look at what's happening inside your body while you sleep. For 7, 8, or even 9 hours, you're not taking in any fluids. During this time, your body is still hard at work, breathing, circulating blood, and repairing cells, all processes that use up water. The result is that every single one of us wakes up in a natural state of dehydration. This isn't a sign of a problem. It's a completely normal physiological state. Think of it as your body's baseline condition upon waking. Your internal fluid levels are at their lowest point of the entire 24-hour cycle. This state of morning dehydration is the crucial, often overlooked starting point for the entire chain of events that leads to that feeling of being locked up and needing to slowly warm up your body before you can move with ease. This overnight dehydration has a direct and profound effect on your connective tissues. These are the very materials that hold you together: your fascia, ligaments, tendons, and the cartilage that cushions your joints. These tissues are like a complex, interwoven fabric, and their ability to be pliable, elastic, and glide smoothly depends heavily on being well hydrated. When fluid levels are low, these tissues lose some of their natural lubrication and suppleness. They become a bit more dense, a little less resilient, and more prone to feeling stuck. So, that sensation of stiffness isn't just in your imagination, and it's not just wear and tear. It's a real physical change in the texture and quality of your body's internal support system, directly linked to this temporary lack of optimal hydration first thing in the morning. Your joints are essentially waking up thirsty. Perhaps the most powerful way to visualize this is to think of your joint tissues as a sponge. When a sponge is fully hydrated, soaked with water, it is soft, flexible, and resilient. You can bend it, squeeze it, and it bounces right back. This is how your connective tissues are meant to function when they are properly hydrated, allowing for fluid, comfortable movement. However, after a long night without water, that sponge has been sitting out on the counter. It has become dry, stiff, and somewhat brittle. If you try to bend a dry sponge, it resists. It's inflexible and can even crack under pressure. This is a remarkably accurate picture of what is happening inside your body each morning. Your tissues are in that dry, stiff, and less pliable state, waiting for the right kind of replenishment to restore their natural flexibility and function. Now, let's bring your morning coffee into this picture. We love it for its ability to energize us, but from a biological standpoint, coffee is a diuretic. A diuretic is any substance that encourages your body to produce more urine, which means it promotes fluid loss. When you drink a diuretic, your kidneys are signaled to flush more water and certain minerals out of your system. This is a well-known effect and isn't inherently bad. In a well-hydrated body, the system can easily manage this process. However, the timing of when you introduce this diuretic stimulus is absolutely critical. The key takeaway here is that your beloved coffee sets in motion a process of active fluid excretion. It essentially sends a signal to your body to get rid of water, which is the very resource your tissues are craving most after a long night of sleep. So, what happens when you pour a diuretic onto that dry, stiff sponge? You are taking a body that is already in a state of fluid deficit and introducing something that actively makes it lose even more water. Instead of rehydrating and softening the sponge, the coffee can intensify the problem. The small amount of water in the coffee isn't enough to overcome the diuretic signal it sends. Your body is prompted to flush out liquid, deepening that hydration hole you woke up in. This creates a physiological conflict. Your joints and connective tissues are desperate for hydration to become pliable, but your first act of the day is to consume something that encourages your body to expel the very fluid they need. This is the central mechanism that can turn a normal state of slight morning stiffness into a more pronounced and frustrating daily experience. The impact doesn't stop with just water loss. This diuretic effect also encourages the flushing out of key water-soluble minerals, and one of the most important ones for our discussion is magnesium. Magnesium plays a vital role in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including those that govern muscle and nerve function. It acts as a natural relaxant for our muscles and soft tissues. When magnesium levels are suboptimal, tissues can have a harder time relaxing, leading to a feeling of tightness and tension. By drinking coffee on an empty, dehydrated system, you may be inadvertently accelerating the loss of this crucial mineral right at the moment your tissues need it to release their overnight stiffness. This mineral depletion adds another layer to the problem, contributing to that feeling of being physically tense and less flexible when you first try to move. Let's connect all these dots to see the full picture of what's happening. You go to sleep and wake up 7 to 8 hours later in a natural, predictable state of dehydration. This causes your connective tissues, the sponges in your joints, to become less pliable and stiff. At this exact moment of vulnerability, you introduce coffee, a diuretic. This diuretic signal prompts your already dehydrated body to expel more precious water and essential minerals like magnesium, which are critical for tissue relaxation and flexibility. The net result is that you are deepening the very state of dehydration that is contributing to your stiffness in the first place. You are, in effect, asking your body to run before it has learned to walk, demanding flexibility from tissues that have not been given the basic ingredient they need to be flexible: pure, simple water. This understanding changes everything. It shifts the narrative from one of inevitable decline, I'm just getting older, to one of simple, understandable biology. The problem isn't your age, and it isn't a personal failing. It is the result of a specific, repeatable, physiological chain of events. And the most empowering part of this knowledge is that if the problem is caused by a specific sequence, then changing that sequence can change the outcome. This brings us to the crucial next step. We have now seen the hidden mechanism at play. The next question we must answer is, what is the single, invisible mistake in our morning routine that sets this entire process in motion? Uncovering this simple error in timing is the key to unlocking a more fluid and comfortable start to your day. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter, the invisible mistake. The one simple error in your morning sequence that sets this entire chain reaction in motion has nothing to do with the quality of your coffee or how much of it you drink. It is purely a matter of timing. The mistake is drinking your coffee before you have given your body the one thing it is desperately craving after a long night's sleep: pure, simple water. By making coffee the very first liquid that passes your lips, you are taking a system that is already in a state of natural dehydration, that dry, brittle sponge we talked about, and you are immediately asking it to expel even more fluid. It's an incredibly common habit, a cherished ritual for millions, yet it inadvertently prioritizes a stimulant over the fundamental need for rehydration, setting your joints up for a daily struggle with stiffness. It's completely understandable why this habit becomes so deeply ingrained. When you wake up, your primary goal is to shake off the grogginess of sleep and feel alert. We have been culturally conditioned to believe that coffee is the tool for that job. The aroma, the warmth, the ritual itself, it all signals to our brain that the day is beginning. The desire for that immediate jolt of mental clarity is powerful, and it easily overshadows the body's much quieter, more subtle request for hydration. It doesn't feel wrong, it feels productive. We think we are giving our body what it needs to get started, when in reality, we are skipping a crucial preparatory step. We are essentially trying to start the engine of a car without any oil, focusing only on the spark of the ignition while ignoring the system's need for lubrication. The immediate consequence of this timing error is that feeling you know so well. Within that first hour of waking, you might feel more mentally alert from the caffeine, but your body can feel like it's fighting you. Every movement is a negotiation. Getting out of bed, bending down to put on your socks, reaching for something on a high shelf. It all feels laborious, accompanied by a sense of resistance in your joints. This isn't just a vague feeling of being creaky. It is the direct physical result of your connective tissues being deprived of the fluid they need to be pliable. You are asking your fascia, ligaments, and cartilage to stretch and glide when they are still in that stiff, dehydrated state. This is why it takes so much longer to warm up, and why those first movements of the day can be filled with discomfort and hesitation. When this simple mistake is repeated every single morning, the consequences begin to compound. What starts as a temporary morning issue gradually evolves into a more chronic state. Your body, never fully rehydrated at the start of the day, adapts to this low-grade dehydration. The persistent stiffness begins to feel less like a temporary symptom and more like your new normal. You may start to believe, this is just how my body is now. This acceptance can lead to a slow but steady decrease in your overall range of motion. You might not notice it day to day, but over months and years, you may find you can't twist as far, bend as deeply, or reach as easily as you once did. The invisible mistake of your morning routine slowly chips away at your body's natural fluidity. This cumulative impact inevitably spills over into your daily life, affecting your ability to perform tasks you once did without a second thought. It's the hesitation before kneeling in the garden because you know how hard it will be to get back up. It's the slight wince when you bend down to pick something up off the floor. It's the difficulty of getting down on the carpet to play with your grandchildren, a simple joy that now comes with a physical price. Over time, you may begin to subconsciously avoid these movements altogether. You start to modify your life around your stiffness, choosing the chair that's easiest to get out of, or asking for help with things you used to do yourself. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a gradual erosion of your functional independence. Beyond the physical limitations, this chronic stiffness can also change how you look and feel in your own skin. When your joints are stiff, your movements naturally become less fluid and more guarded. This can affect your posture, causing you to stoop slightly or walk with a more rigid gait. Without even realizing it, this can project an image of fragility and make you appear older than you feel on the inside. Your body language begins to communicate discomfort rather than confidence. This disconnect between your inner vitality and your outward appearance can be disheartening, impacting your self-esteem and your sense of presence as you move through the world. You deserve to inhabit your body with a sense of ease and grace, not with a feeling of constant restriction. Living with this daily battle also takes a significant psychological toll. Starting every single day with a reminder of your body's limitations can be mentally exhausting. It can create a subtle, underlying frustration, a feeling that your own body is working against you. This can sap your motivation and make you less likely to engage in physical activities you once enjoyed, like walking, dancing, or hiking. A vicious cycle begins to take hold. The less you move because of the stiffness, the stiffer you become, which further discourages movement. This pattern can lead to a sense of resignation, where you accept a smaller, more limited life as an inevitable consequence of aging, when it may, in fact, be the consequence of a simple, correctable morning habit. So, here we stand, having unveiled the entire process. We see now that it begins with a natural state of overnight dehydration, which is then intensified by the diuretic effect of coffee introduced at the wrong time. This single, seemingly innocent habit creates a cascade of consequences, impacting your immediate comfort, your long-term mobility, your daily function, and even your self-perception. But I want you to see this moment not as a cause for concern, but as a moment of incredible empowerment. Understanding the mechanism is the key to disrupting it. The problem isn't your age or a failing body. It is a simple error in sequence. And if the problem is that simple, then the solution is just as beautifully straightforward, accessible, and within your control. Starting tomorrow morning. The solution then is not about deprivation, but about sequence. It's a simple, elegant adjustment to your morning routine that honors your body's fundamental needs. The change is this: before anything else passes your lips, before the coffee, before the tea, before breakfast, you begin your day by drinking 1 to 2 full glasses of water. By doing this, you are directly addressing the natural state of dehydration you wake up in. You are giving your connective tissues the exact resource they have been deprived of all night. This simple act of water first replenishes your system, preparing it for the day and for the diuretic effects of your coffee. It shifts your morning from one of starting in a deficit to one of starting with a foundation of hydration, allowing your body to function with much greater ease from the very first moment you rise. Let's return to our analogy of the sponge. Imagine your joints and tissues as that dry, stiff sponge first thing in the morning. If you pour coffee on it, the liquid isn't properly absorbed, and the sponge remains rigid. But what happens if you first hold that sponge under a gentle stream of water? It immediately begins to soften, to expand, and to regain its pliable, resilient nature. It transforms from something brittle into something flexible. This is precisely what you are doing for your body when you choose water first. You are re-soaking your body's internal sponge, restoring the lubrication and suppleness to your fascia, ligaments, and cartilage. Once your tissues are properly hydrated and pliable, they are far better equipped to handle the diuretic effects of coffee, and more importantly, they are ready to support your movements without that familiar resistance and stiffness. Making this change a consistent part of your life is simple. The key is to make it as effortless and automatic as your current coffee habit. One of the easiest ways to do this is to place a glass or a water bottle on your nightstand before you go to bed. It will be the very first thing you see when you wake up, a visual cue to start your new ritual. Aim for 1 to 2 glasses, about 12 to 16 ounces, of room temperature water. Room temperature is often easier for the system to absorb first thing in the morning than ice cold water. Drink it slowly, before your feet even hit the floor. Then, wait just a few minutes before you go about your normal routine of brewing and enjoying your coffee. This small pause gives your body a head start on rehydration. You might be wondering how long it will take to feel a difference. While every body is unique, many people who consistently make this simple change report noticing a tangible shift within just 1 to 2 weeks. This isn't about an overnight miracle. It's about the cumulative benefit of giving your body what it needs, day after day. The first changes are often subtle. You might notice that swinging your legs out of bed feels a little less like a chore. Bending down to pick up the newspaper might happen with a bit less hesitation. Over time, these small improvements build on each other, leading to a significant change in how you experience your mornings. The goal is a gradual return to a feeling of fluidity, replacing the sensation of being locked up with a sense of readiness for the day. Ultimately, this simple adjustment is about reclaiming the freedom of movement in your daily life. It's about being able to kneel in your garden without dreading the effort of getting back up. It's about tying your shoes without that familiar ache in your back or hips. It's about getting down on the floor to play with your grandchildren and feeling confident that you can rise with ease. These are not small things. They are the very fabric of an independent and joyful life. When you start your day by honoring your body's need for hydration, you are not just reducing stiffness. You are investing in your ability to participate fully in the activities that bring you meaning and happiness, preserving your functional independence for years to come. I want to leave you with a powerful and reassuring thought. Your body has an incredible, innate capacity to respond and adapt, no matter your age. That feeling of stiffness was never a sign that your body was failing you or that you were just getting old. It was simply a signal, a request for one of the most basic elements of life, water. By understanding this simple mechanism and responding to that signal with this small change, you are shifting from a passive acceptance of discomfort to an active role in your own well-being. You are proving to yourself that you have agency over how you feel. This knowledge is empowering because it replaces the fear of inevitable decline with the confidence that comes from understanding and caring for your body's needs. So I encourage you to see this not as a restriction, but as an opportunity. It is a chance to begin a new conversation with your body, one based on listening and responding with simple, fundamental care. Never believe that it is too late to make a positive change. Small, consistent adjustments can create profound shifts in your quality of life. By simply changing the order of your morning ritual, you are sending a powerful message of support to every cell and every joint in your body. You are choosing to start your day not with a stimulant that deepens a deficit, but with the pure, life-giving hydration that fosters flexibility, comfort, and a renewed sense of ease as you move through your world.